So, Will, situation at the club, it's a little bit different. We've got Mike Eccles looking after the team at the moment. What is the mood like at the moment within the squad? I've been down to training a couple of times recently, and it seems pretty upbeat still.
Yeah, it's been obviously a challenging couple of weeks, and we've sort of had to refresh and move on from obviously the news about Jermaine, and obviously we all wish him well, and Jamel as well. So, but yeah, there's now a bit of more of a focus to these games ahead. Obviously, we've got some really important games coming up. So, yeah, I can't fault the boys in terms of their attitudes. It's never easy when you lose a coach. Early on in the season. So yeah, the guys have been really good in getting around Mike and being able to help him and transition that process as quickly as possible, and hopefully make it as easy for whoever comes in to be able to fulfill their role.
And what about yourself, Will, as the captain? Have you had to step up even more in recent weeks?
Yeah, maybe so. I sort of probably just go about my business as usual, but yeah, maybe in terms of the training and things like that, we've had to have a little bit of involvement with. But Mike's been around this system for a long time now. He knows the score, and I think he's very capable of what he does. So yeah, in terms of that, really, I haven't had to do much else. But no, I just try and keep my standards high, and that's all I can do really.
How would you assess, Will, the season in terms of why maybe it's not quite gone right? I've been to pretty much every game this year, and there's been so many occasions, Will, where we've been really in games and close, but more often than not, we have been on the losing side. Why do you think that's been?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to sort of hit the nail on the head, but ultimately, we're making that transition from being a full-time team to a part-time team. And I think that will take time. You look at our squad, and probably, 60% of the players involved weren't here last year. And, we've had a huge turnover. So things take time, and it takes time to gel. Our spine of our team is completely different. That's 6, 7, 9, 1. Which they're your key indicators in the game to how you're going to progress and move around the pitch. And I think if we can get that bit right and get those blokes all in sync together, then the rest of us just sort of fall into place then, and hopefully those games that, like you're saying there, that we're staying in for large periods of the game, hopefully just those little lapses in concentration will disappear then. Yeah.
So what about the rest of the characters and the personalities in the squad as well? As I said, I go down to training, and each week that I go, it's new players for me as well, and I'm learning who some of the real characters are in the squad. But for other people maybe, Will, who don't know, who are kind of the big personalities, the newer names and faces that we have around that people will eventually kind of get to know over the course of the season?
Yeah, so I think notably, Dean Pratt has had a really big impact coming in this year. He's quite vocal around the boys, which is great, and some of his experiences have been fantastic to help with some of the younger players and things like that. And his experience there will be really helpful. And then you've got other characters like City, Paul Allberg, who have come across from Australia, who probably not as loud as some of the others, but again, that experience that they have from being out in Oz and being around some of those NRL teams will be invaluable to the younger members of the squad. But yeah, and then to mix that with the enthusiasm of some of the young lads, and we've got some really, really good quality young players in there, like Ollie Leyland, Ryan Horseman, when he's back fit. So yeah, if we can get all that mixed in together and working well, then yeah, I think it can progress and be successful.
And how do you feel about the season as it goes on? Are we confident, Will, that we'll be okay?
Yeah, from what I've seen in the games, we've definitely got enough quality there, and what we've shown in the games to be able to trouble teams. For me, yeah, it's just that having that cutting edge now of being confident in our own ability and staying in those arm wrestles for longer periods, and then mixing that with some of the tough stuff as well that you need, and hopefully we can get that right and progress on this season.